Hey guys, HDvee here and welcome to a brand new video. Today we've got some really interesting things to go over about a future DLC for the Pokemon Scarlet and Violet games. It has been hinted at on the Pokemon website, and then we also have a few other bits and bobs to go over as well for the Generation 9 games. Plenty of things to get into today though and break down. So if you're excited for the video, as always, make sure to drop a like down below. Let's try to hit 500 likes, it really helps out. Leave a comment with your thoughts on anything we cover in today's video. Would you like even more DLC after the Hidden Treasure of Area Zero? Subscribe if you're brand new, ring the notification bell. With all of that out of the way though, let's get into the video and I really hope that you enjoy. So, starting things off, let's take a look at this hint towards future DLC for the Generation 9 games. I'm not talking about Teal Mask, I'm not talking about Indigo Disc, I'm talking about a third DLC. So this was posted by Light, so massive shout out to them for finding this information. But basically, this was a post here saying that you must own Pokemon Violet European version on Nintendo Switch to access downloadable content. Content packs cannot be purchased separately. DLC will only be playable after its release date, the amount of free space required, yada yada yada. And then it also says it's possible that additional DLC not listed above will also be distributed with Pokemon Violet, the Hidden Treasure of Area Zero. Now I'm not sure if they're talking about like future DLC in terms of like maybe outfits or a Pokemon like a mythical or something, or they're actually talking about another DLC pack that could come out for the Generation 9 games. It would make sense if the next Pokemon game is going to be on the next Nintendo console, because that means that we would get DLC this year for Scarlet and Violet, DLC next year for Scarlet and Violet, and then we'd get a brand new Pokemon game on the next Nintendo console, which arguably could be the Generation 5 remakes or Black and White 3 or Legends Kyurem or whatnot. I don't know how I would feel about that, like so many years of Scarlet and Violet, but I don't know, like the fact that they've kind of put this in here means that they've put it in there for a reason. Like, I don't know why they would say that if they definitely knew there was not going to be any more DLC. And obviously we've got Light here, you know, giving the eyes emoji and stuff like that because it's very, very interesting. But yeah, thought that was really, really cool because as well as that, we obviously had the leak that popped up ages ago, which is a confirmed leak. Like, they've actually given us a lot of information from this post. And this was posted way back on like March the 1st. So this leak basically said, you know, some Pokemon will gain terrestrial forms. The new Switch model is actually a next-gen console, the successor, not a revision, and there will be a second DLC in 2024. Now, of course, we didn't know if that meant the Indigo Disc was coming out in 2024 or if it was going to be like a second DLC, because they do say in this, the theme of the DLC is Hidden Treasure of Area Zero and Hexagon. And obviously the Hexagon portion, we don't really know anything about. The only hexagonal things that we've had are obviously like Terrapagos' back and stuff like that. But then obviously we had Centro going on saying it's honestly not clear if the leaker means that a second DLC will release in 2024 or that the second part of the current DLC will be delayed. We have to wait and see. But the fact that they've also put like this information on as well is just quite interesting, because like, why are they like now saying, you know, that it's possible that additional DLC not listed above, and obviously the listed above DLC is the Teal Mask and Indigo Disc, will also be distributed. I don't know why, but it also says here it will be distributed in the Hidden Treasure of Area Zero. It doesn't say like a different DLC, it says more DLC in this. So I guess the whole thing is just called the Hidden Treasure of Area Zero. We've got part 1 being the Teal Mask, part 2 being the Indigo Disc, and then we potentially could have a part 3 that comes out 2024. And then that is, I mean, maybe that could be the top right part of Paldea's map where, you know, it's kind of got the diagonal lines and stuff, because we know we're going back to Area Zero, which has the diagonal lines. Like, that's confirmed. We saw that in the most recent trailer. But the only place on the map now that has diagonal lines that we still can't access is that top right portion, which again, a lot of people think is related to Kalos and stuff like that. So maybe that could be a third part. I don't know. Like I say, it's very unlikely, but it's just interesting that this leak is saying, you know, that there is going to be like DLC in 2024, and then also they're now saying this. I don't know. Let me know your thoughts on that. Do you think we would potentially getting a third DLC or even a fourth DLC? Would you like more DLC, or would you like another game? Very interesting topic to kind of talk about, but wanted to include that in today's video 100% because, yeah, I don't know, I thought it was very, very interesting. Either way, we'll see what happens. Moving on, we also have PokeJungle here talking about Dipplin actually getting a, I guess, not an official reveal, but a very hinted or hidden reveal in the Pokemon, what's it called, the Twilight Wings series. So we had PokeJungle here tweeting out saying it's been noticed that in the bonus episode of Twilight Wings, Applin candy apples can be seen, which look very similar to its recently revealed evolution, Dipplin, which will debut in the Pokemon Scarlet and Violet DLC. Thanks to Crafty Poke for the observation. And you can see down here in the bottom right, this is definitely a Dipplin. Like, this is exactly what Dipplin looks like. It's literally got the candy apple kind of stalk, if you will, and then it's obviously got the eyes here, and then the red, and that is literally, it's just not got the tail. But I don't know why I'd have the tail. But that is Dipplin, so it's quite cool. Whether they meant to do that or not, it's quite cool that this Pokemon got hinted at way back when in an anime episode. So yeah. Don't know if they've done any others like that. We'll have to wait and see when they officially get revealed. But massive shout out to obviously Crafty Poke for finding that out and making that kind of connection and stuff. Next up, we also have this tweet here by Light talking about another potential thing for the Scarlet and Violet DLC. So Yusuke Omura retweeted this 1 month ago. So retweeted this kind of image. I don't even know what it's from, but it's like this robotic kind of spider thing. And then Metagross is back in the Indigo disc. We are missing the Terastal forms. He used to retweet spoilers of new Pokemon or forms, and he actually did. Like, he's got a track record of basically retweeting things that are very similar to like new Pokemon that are coming up and stuff. So the fact that he retweeted this could be a hint that Metagross is potentially getting a Terraform. You know, it looks really good in the DLC. I could see one of the Elite Four getting a Metagross, especially if Drayton is a Steel type trainer and not a Dragon type. Because obviously he has our Archaludon, but that is Dragon and Steel, so that could go either way. And if he is a Steel type trainer, which again, we've also already covered that he's not using his... He's not, basically, Archaludon is not his ace Pokemon because he's using a different Pokeball. We covered that in a previous video, I believe. So his ace Pokemon could actually be a Metagross, which could get a Terraform, and that could be why he's retweeted this. Again, just all speculation at the end of the day, but still quite interesting nonetheless. So that's that. And then finishing things up, we also have this post here by Go Nintendo talking about more Pokemon stuff. Again, like I say, they've been doing so many interviews lately, and this is also a very interesting one. So Pokemon Co. will always create new Pokemon, says the company. So they're never going to stop, basically. While the Pokemon Co. has slowed down the creation of brand new Pokemon in recent years, the company still very much creates new creatures with each mainline installment. It looks like that's a tradition that's going to continue from here on out. So Takato, the chief operating officer of the Pokemon Company, recently answered a bunch of different questions about the Pokemon franchise, which is when the topic of new Pokemon came up. They were asked if Pokemon Co. would ever pull back or stop creating fresh Pokemon designs, and he made it very clear that it won't be the case. So this is the actual interview. He said, "I think that Game Freak needs to have the ability or that kind of development capability to always be producing new creatures and coming up with new ideas." They responded via a translator, and if they didn't have that ability or that development capability, then it would be difficult to continue Pokemon through all these generations. As new generations of people come to work on the games, and they'll have new ideas for new creatures, we're able to continue creating new Pokemon. So what they're basically saying is, you know, when they hire these new people, they're going to have new ideas and stuff, and they will then create new Pokemon from these new ideas that these new people have, which is a good idea, because obviously Pokemon's been going for so long now, but it's been going through like decades now. We're into a different generation of like kids and stuff that are going to be playing these games that will have different ideas and stuff as to what we had when we were little. So it's going to be interesting the kind of like designs they come up with now and stuff. Right now we're over 1,000, but if you think about how many living creatures there are in our world, there's something over hundreds of thousands. I would think we probably still have a long way we can keep going, which is, you know, very, very true. There are millions of different creatures, some that we've not even discovered yet. Well, I'm sure there's loads that we haven't discovered yet in like the oceans and stuff, but you know what I mean? There's like so many different Pokemon they could still create. But I don't know, it's just like kind of a little positive thing there. They're not going to stop. Like, a lot of people are thinking like, you know, will they ever stop? Doesn't look like it. Don't know why they would. Biggest media franchise in the world, make ridiculous money. Don't know why they would ever stop. But either way, cool that they'll always create the new Pokemon, stuff like that. But yeah, that is going to be everything for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please do consider hitting the like button down below. Let's try and hit 500 likes. It does really help out. Let me know your thoughts on this. Again, this is very much a kind of a discussion kind of thing. Like, do you think we could get DLC? Would you like to get new DLC? Again, there's evidence supporting the idea of a third and fourth DLC, especially, like I say, with the part of the map that we still can't get access to. There is kind of, like I say, there's hints there. But whether we get that or not, I'm not too sure. I don't even know what I'd like, to be fair. I don't know if I'd like a new game next year or 2 more DLC. I don't know. I'd have to sit on it. But it very well could happen. We'll have to wait and see. And then, yeah, do you think that we could potentially get a Terraform for Metagross as well? But yeah, that's everything from me. Thank you again for watching. Subscribe if you're brand new. Ring the notification bell for daily Pokemon content. It's everything from me. Have a fantastic rest of your day. And until next time, peace.